I interviewed her, Dan, when I was at NBC about creating IT cosmetics. And she did have the high, I can't even do it, my voice is too low, but she had the high squeaky voice a little, but she's really leaning in now in her little podcast with Megyn. And she's gone next octave up. And the two of them have the weirdest dynamic. And so in this podcast, Megyn does her perfectly curated life thing, but she's allegedly wearing no makeup. Meanwhile, she's got like the perfect blowout, and like she's completely camera ready, except she didn't put eye makeup on. And she also is pretending that she's crying. And we did a zero in, like we zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in sight, Dan. Look at this. I invite the viewers to take a close-up look at this. Where's the tear? There's nothing there. Look, it's an actor.
Meghan Markle's emotions were on full display. Well, everything except the tears. Greg Gutfeld strolled in like it was open mic night at a royal roast, while Megyn Kelly scattered painful truths like party favors, proving that relationships have limits. So, was it just some awkward theatrics, a ploy for sympathy, or just business as usual on Meghan's podcast, Palace? Grab your snacks, because this solo takedown felt more like a tag team smackdown, and it's the funniest thing since Harry tried blending royal life with Hollywood lights.
I resent you. I resent England for sending your second-hand royalty to us, because now we got to deal with this. Yes, I just love the fact that they thought that they were going to be royalty here in America. So there was an assumption that and they were almost there. I mean, they were going to get gigs everywhere. They were Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV. Everybody was just going to give them millions and millions. And then they had to sit in a room with them and realize, my God, they're vacuous. He's a nice guy, apparently, but I mean, just thoroughly vacuous. She leads him around on a rope, and and it's like, that's it. That is the kind of sitcom I want to see.
I'll tell you the other thing.
It happened again. Meghan Markle appeared emotional, but more in spirit than in looks. One of those high society breakdowns where the voice does all the heavy lifting and the tear ducts take a yee. Now, the kind of impassioned sob that sounds deep, raw, and poetic, except someone forgot to inform her facial expressions that something major was happening.
She pulled out all the stops. Here is the intro of the episode.
Megyn, Duchess of Sussex, in her first ever podcast interview.
It's happening! It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply, and I love being able to see your growth. Of all things, it's making me emotional.
I have full body chills right now.
For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much.
Why don't you like her?
Let me count the ways. There's nothing I like about her. She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small. Yeah. The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm going to put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends, while she never stops whining. And at the same time, and I'm getting all worked up, I'm a founder. I'm over it. She's not important. She married for money. It's very clear. She bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a...
And just like that, the Duchess of Discontent launched another emotionally charged, truth-sprinkled podcast where everything appears authentic, heartfelt, and completely on brand. This time, she sniffled without sniffling, blinked without tears, and delivered what can only be described as invisible emotions meant to be felt, not fact-checked. The internet lit up faster than Harry trying to remember what his royal duties even are anymore.
Meghan Markle is back with another attempt at relevance, this time her upcoming Netflix series, With Love, Megyn. Roll it, Agnes. Oh. Of course it's the first time, because you never do it. You can actually tell how phony someone is when they tell you how authentic they are. Obviously, this will crash and burn like all of our other poorly planned pet projects, because despite her pseudo-British fame, people over here roundly reject this kind of phony force.
This kind of slick, overproduced emotion isn't new. The world's grown used to Meghan's passionate declarations. Because honestly, what's a podcast without a bit of choreographed vulnerability? But this time, the drama wasn't just served. It came wrapped in gold leaf, dusted with lavender, and hand-delivered by a wellness coach in Montecito. The marketing machine was working overtime, and Megyn wanted the audience to swallow every drop. Except some listeners couldn't stomach it.
He embarrassed his family for fun. Now his tell-all's #1. It's true. Prince Harry's book has now become the fastest-selling non-fiction book in the history of the UK, selling 400,000 copies on Tuesday. It's the only book to ever sell more copies on its first day than Harry Potter, which also was a work of fiction. Anyway, the book also reveals a whole bunch of weird crap. A text message fight between Meghan and Kate. How does a husband get that? And why does he care? Also, how Prince Charles used to do headstands in his underwear every day to alleviate injuries from polo, not polio.
Greg Gutfeld, known for turning sarcasm into a sport, didn't hold back after Meghan's podcast moment. He mocked her emotional display, comparing it to a cheesy Broadway audition. Loud, overacted, and completely unnecessary. For Greg, Meghan claiming to be unheard while enjoying massive media deals was peak irony. His message? If this is silence, what does noise look like?
To People magazine. She says she loves building this safe haven and show with her daughter. And she says, being able to have my own little girl, as I've spent so much of my life championing the rights of girls and women, knowing this is something that I can create in front of my daughter and teach her what it's like to be a working mom. This is not what it's like to be a working mom. What it's like to be a working mom is to come downstairs with no makeup on, you're barely out of your pajamas, and you're like, did you eat? Let's go! You're late! Get your backpack! Come on! If you do this again, I'm not bringing it to you at school! Let's go! Good! Right? Grab anything! Doesn't matter what the sugar content is. This is...
Greg took it further, calling Meghan's performance a masterclass in emotional manipulation. Tears without crying, vulnerability with a spotlight. He joked it was like being emotionally mugged by a mime. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly took a more serious approach. Less jokes, more precision. She broke down Meghan's act like a prosecutor, exposing what she saw as a carefully crafted strategy, not genuine emotion.
Harry, who are planning to come and hijack
Yes.
the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And I know you find them a constant source of hilarity as well. They don't ever intend to make us laugh. They just make us laugh through their
I gotta tell you.
absurdity.
I love that her woke cartoon on Netflix got canceled. There's a great story behind this. The cartoon is called Pearl. It's about a coming of age, right? Which is a code word for nauseating, self-involved tripe. So what happened is, this is my favorite part. So it's like a young girl's rise in social justice, and you know who Meghan's cartoon is inspired by? Meghan. She made the cartoon. It's inspired by her, which is amazing. But that tells you everything. That in the woke world, it is not actually about helping people. It's a disguise. It's a virtue signal that helps you, that makes you look good.
Right.
And there's perfect evidence of this because they never help anybody.
And Meghan's conclusion? This was weaponized emotion 101. Meghan's tears, or more accurately, the idea of them, weren't about openness. They were about steering the narrative. Kelly approached the episode like a courtroom case file, her tone declaring, "Let's not swoon. Let's analyze." She pointed out Meghan's habit of dropping these expressive moments with impeccable timing, usually when criticism spikes or public favor dips. To Kelly, this wasn't vulnerability. It was a perfectly timed, emotional flashbang. She even identified a pattern. Every time the pressure rises, out comes another tragic tale. Another scar reopened. Another near breakdown. But here's the catch. It's never messy or uncontrolled. It's always podcast polished. With Meghan, you don't get raw pain. You get branded sadness. Kelly, ever the sharp observer, raised the issue of credibility. Why do Meghan's stories subtly change from one platform to the next? Why do grand declarations come with strong emotion but lack solid evidence? Why are these crying moments built on vague memories rather than facts? It wasn't just the missing tears that set off red flags. It was the missing consistency. Sure, you can fake a cry, but building an entire emotional arc around it? That's not just performance, that's manipulation.
She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. Who the hell picks fucking berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants? Literally no one on earth does that. And like this garden, which is like the most over the top, like we're all supposed to go, Maureen, to make our breakfast in the morning out to our gardens and pick our berries, our raspberries, our strawberries, our blueberries, our snozberries, and cut our mint, and then cut our flowers that are edible. But don't worry, she's a woman of the people. You can grow those just on your windowsill at home.
Sure.
In New York, your edible flowers.
And don't forget your local beekeeper.
Yeah.
Your local beekeeper.
Oh yeah, because she has a bee hive, which she goes to. That's how they open the whole series with her bees. And like, don't worry, if you don't have this, just go to your local beekeeper. Clearly we're living in different...
While Gutfeld brought the laughs, Kelly hit a deeper nerve, highlighting the danger of using emotion as strategy. When someone cries wolf without tears too often, people tune out, even if the pain is real. Meghan's polished delivery, complete with dramatic pauses in a studio setup, felt more like a performance than vulnerability. Critics like Gutfeld and Kelly, though different in tone, agreed. Something doesn't add up. A duchess who cries without tears, avoids accountability, and claims to be silenced while staying in the spotlight raises eyebrows. And social media. It responded with memes, not sympathy.
His heart is
All right,
even
this
more
is weird.
beautiful.
I love that your eyes are sparkling right now.
Oh.
Oh my God. Dan, I threw up in my mouth.
Yes. Yes.
Dan, when you do interviews on your show, do you do the Jamie Kern Lima reactions? Yes. Oh my God, there's something wrong with her. What? Wow, who communicates like that? She's the only thing saving Meghan Markle, because between the two, she's even weirder. But Meghan Markle, this is a tell. Okay, this is a tell. It's the same way on Valentine's Day. You see people post like, my rock, my life partner, the person who saved me. Guaranteed that guy is cheating on her.
People dissected that clip like it was the Zapruder film. Was that a tear? Nope. Just a camera glare. Was that a sniffle? False alarm? The producer coughed. Suddenly, it wasn't about what Meghan said, but how she said it. Because when emotion is the product, even the smallest misstep can shatter the illusion. Meghan's entire presentation follows a specific formula: victimhood, emotion, and polish. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.